Hello everyone. So today we will discuss the topic Wheatstone's Bridge. So this Wheatstone's Bridge was first invented by Samuel Hunter Christie in the year 1833. He first invented this device, and later on Sir Charles Wheatstone in 1843 he gave some improvement in this device and named this device as Wheatstone's Bridge. So this bridge circuit is used for measuring the electrical resistance. In this bridge circuit, known today as Wheatstone bridge circuit, unknown resistances are compared with the well-defined resistances. Now, what is the principle of this bridge? So, the principle is that it works on the principle of null deflection. That is, the ratio of their resistances are equal, and in that case no current flows through the galvanometer. So this is the basic principle on which the Wheatstone bridge works. It works on the principle of null deflection. You will get the null deflection when the current through the galvanometer is 0. That means no current passes through the galvanometer. The construction, so bridge has 4 arms, as you can see. 4 resistances are connected, out of which 2 are known resistances, 1 is variable resistance, and the 1 unknown resistance whose resistance we can find out, along with the EMF source and the galvanometer. The basis circuit of the Wheatstone bridge is here. So now you can see 4 resistances are connected. As you can see in the 4 arms of a parallelogram, you can say that it is a diamond structure, you can say that, or in the form of a bridge, you can say that. So 4 resistances are connected, and across one of the diagonal a galvanometer is connected, across second A and C terminal and EMF source is connected. Now when the current will pass, so it will be divided into 2 parts. Across P it will be let I1 and I2 flows through R. Now in the balanced condition, when no current flows through this galvanometer, the PD across AB and BC will be same, and the PD across AD and CD will be same. So therefore if I1 is flowing across AB, I1 will be flowing across BC. Similarly, if I2 is flowing across AD, then it is flowing across CD also. Clear? So when there is the potential at B and D will be same, so that means there is no potential difference. No potential difference means no current will flow. So that is why no current will flow across this galvanometer, and this galvanometer in this case shows no deflection. Now we have a variable resistance. So this variable resistance work is that when the current is pass, we have to adjust this resistance to get this null deflection, this condition, by varying the resistance. So when we get this null condition, in that case we have P by Q equal to R by S. So this is the balance condition for a Wheatstone bridge. So the working, we can write it as in balanced condition when no current flows through this galvanometer. In that case the PD across A to B and A to D are equal, and the PD across B to C and C to D remain same. Now when the current enters into the galvanometer through I1 and I2, their magnitude will remain same. So here you will add a line that the condition when the galvanometer shows no deflection, that means no current passes through the galvanometer. In that case, by applying KVL for closed loop ABDA, we will get I1P minus I2R equal to 0. So this condition will be applied when no current passes through the galvanometer. So this line you can write in bracket here. Clear? So when we apply KVL for this circuit, if this direction we are taking, so we are going along the direction of the current, so this will become I1P, then this will become minus I2R, and since potential is same across the 2 terminals, so difference is 0. So I1P minus I2R will be equal to 0, and I1P will become equal to I2R, and similarly I1Q will become equal to I2 into S. So I1Q minus I2S will become equal to 0. We can write I1Q equal to I2S. Now dividing both the equation, we can get I1P upon I1Q equal to I2R upon I2S. That means P by Q is equal to R by S, and this is the balance condition for a Wheatstone bridge. Now if the ratio of the resistances P and Q are known and the resistance S is known, so we can find the unknown resistance R. And P and Q are known as the ratio arm, S, the variable resistance, is known as the standard or the known arm, and R, whose resistance we will find, is known as unknown R. About the sensitivity, it tells us the accuracy of the instrument. So the bridge is maximum sensitive or more sensitive when all their resistance are equal or their ratio is unity. So in that case it will be maximum sensitivity, and their sensitivity will decrease if the ratio is less than unity. So this is the topic about Wheatstone bridge, and this is the balance condition. Under balance condition, the ratio of the resistances will be equal. P by Q will be equal to R by S. Now there are two applications of Wheatstone bridge. They are meter bridge and post office box. So in the next topic that we will discuss is the meter bridge. Now the topic that we will discuss is meter bridge. So this is the experiment that you have to do this year also. This meter bridge is also known as slide wire bridge. So it is based on the principle of Wheatstone bridge, and also it is used for the determination of the resistance of a conductor or wire. This is the complete circuit diagram of a meter bridge. In the meter bridge you will see 3 copper strips attached on a wooden board, and on the copper strips there will be binding screws. So these are the binding screws which you will find on the copper strips, and across one of the binding screw of 2 L shape, the copper strips will be 2 are of L shape and 1 is straight. So this is the copper strip, this one is, and this is a copper strips. These are the binding screws at which you will do the connections of the wire, resistance box, unknown resistance, all the things will connect. So the first binding screw of this copper strip and this copper strip, they are connected with a 100 centimeter wire which is fixed. So it is attached on that meter bridge, and below of that you will see a 100 centimeter scale also to note down the reading. So that wire which is connected across this 100 centimeter wire of this binding screws, so it is of manganese and Constantan, means either manganese or Constantan we use for this meter bridge. So why we use this? Because they have the low temperature coefficient and they have high resistivity. That means with the increase in temperature their value does not change. So there will be no variation in the resistance of the wire when the temperature will rise. So that is why we use this wire. Now the second binding screw of this and this copper strip will be connected across a EMF source and a key. Clear? Now across these two binding screw a resistance box is connected. So rheostat and resistance box both work is same to control the current, but resistance box, in the resistance box we know the value of the resistance that we are giving, because there will be few plugs on it and the values will be written on it, like 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm. The plug you will remove, that much resistance will go in the circuit. Like 1 ohm plug you have removed, so 1 ohm resistance will be given in the circuit. Now in between these two binding screws will connect the unknown resistance, means the wire will connect whose resistance we are going to find out by this experiment. This binding screw is connected with a galvanometer, so positive terminal will be connected with this binding screw, negative will be connected with a jockey. So we use this jockey to find out the null deflection. So the purpose of jockey is basically to find out, touch on this wire, this jockey will slides on this wire. Jockey term is used basically, I hope you all have heard this term jockey, radio jockey, video jockey, which we say RJ, VJ, so that is radio jockey, video jockey. And then jockey is also used in the horse races, the term that the riders who rides the horses, they are also known as jockey. So here in physics also we have jockey, but this jockey slides on this wire. So the purpose of this jockey is that, and it is, the shape of it is like a pen, and it is of a metal rod with one end as a knife edge, and that knife edge will be touched on this wire. Clear? So there will be one terminal of it, and on that terminal we connect the wire, and then the second end will be connected with the galvanometer negative. So jockeys are always connected with the negative of the galvanometer. Clear? Now when we have completed the circuit connection, then we switch on the battery and key is closed, and now we remove one resistance from this resistance box. So we take out one plug like 1 ohm if we are giving. So first we will start with 1 ohm. So we remove the plug of 1 ohm, and now we start touching this jockey on this wire. So before that, what we will do, first we touch this jockey on this point and on this point, like 0 centimeter and 100 centimeter. So initially the galvanometer is like this, and when you touch this on 0, so if the galvanometer deflection is coming, the pointer is going like this, that means your circuit is correct. And if it is also in this direction going like this, then that means it is giving complete deflection and your circuit is correct. But if you are touching on 0 and 100, and on both point you are getting same side deflection, like on 0 also you are getting in this direction, on 100 also you are getting in this direction, or all in this direction, so that means that circuit is wrong. So when you get the complete deflection on both sides, that means your circuit is correct, and in that case the galvanometer will give you the null deflection point correctly. Clear? Now when you remove 1 ohm plug and you start touching on this wire, so what happens, like when you start from here 0 and you start moving this jockey on this wire, so what happened, this deflection on the pointer of the galvanometer will go like this, and suddenly when you increase it, it comes like this. So it is the condition of null deflection, like it is on the 0 of the galvanometer. So at that point you will stop, and then you will note down the value from 0 to this point. This will become your L, and then on 100 minus L will be on the other side. Clear? So this is what you have to do for finding out the null deflection. So like in this point, at point B, if we had got the null point, so in this point we'll getting the null deflection, this length will become L and this length will become 100 minus L. And then we put the 1 ohm plug, and then we remove the 2 ohm plug. So same process we'll do for 1 ohm, 2 ohm, 3 ohm, 4 ohm, 5 ohm, if 5 readings we are taking, and then using the formula we'll find out the unknown resistance. So this is the whole working of this meter bridge. Now how we'll determine the resistance? So as I told you, first we'll do the process as I told you, like first of all we have to remove one resistance from the resistance box, and then key is closed. Now the jockey is sliding along the wire and null point is determined. So that I have explained. So in the figure, as you can see, B is the null point, and then we measure the length AB and BC. AB will become L and BC will become 100 minus L. So this will be your P and this will be your Q. This is a wire whose resistance is fixed. So P will become this L and this BC will become your Q. So we have the value of now PQ, and we are going to find out value of S, and we have this R also. So this is how, using the Wheatstone bridge principle, we have P by Q is equal to R by S. Now the point is why we are getting this null point. So the point is that when the potential across this point and across this resistance box will become equal, that means we know that V is equal to IR. So from the battery, when the current will flow, like from at this point on the resistance box, if here the V is equal to IR and here the current flows and the resistance V is equal to IR, so if their potential becomes equal, so in that case only we are getting the null condition. So that means in that case we'll get the null deflection when the resistance V across this and V across this will become equal. So at the point when you increase the length, you are increasing the resistance, and when you are increasing the resistance where the V is equal to IR, that means the potential becomes equal and this potential becomes equal. That means that point you will get the null point. Clear? So here the resistance of the length AB will take it as P and that of BC will take it as Q. Now by the principle of Wheatstone bridge, we have P by Q is equal to R by S. Length AB will be L centimeter, BC will be 100 minus L. we have the formula of resistance. We know that R is equal to rho L by A. So P will become rho L by A. L is the length of the wire and A is the area of cross section. Clear? So Q will become rho into 100 minus L. Clear? So upon A will be fixed and L will be different, because this will be for your 1 ohm, then you will get for 2 ohm, like that. So here Q will become 100 minus L upon A. Resistivity will be fixed, area of cross section will be fixed. So we have P by Q is equal to rho L by A into upon rho into 100 minus L upon A. So this will become P by Q is equal to L upon 100 minus L, and then we place this value in this equation in place of P by Q. So what we'll get? L upon 100 minus L equal to R by S. So S will become the unknown resistance we have to find out. This will become equal to R into 100 minus L upon L. So first we had done for 1 ohm, so R value will become 1 ohm, and then you will put down the value of L and 100 minus L, so you will get the unknown resistance S for 1 ohm. Similarly you will do for 2, 3, 4, 5, and then for each time the value of S you will get, and then find the average of all, and that will be the value of unknown resistance. So this is how, using this meter bridge, we can find out the unknown resistance. Clear? Now coming to the about the experiment that we do in the lab. So when we do this experiment for finding the unknown resistance and the resistivity of a wire, so in our lab we have a 100 centimeter wire fixed on a wooden board. We don't have the apparatus of the copper strips. So same thing we can do, this experiment we can do by using the 100 centimeter wire which is fixed on a wooden board, and this is an important practical which is asked for the board examination. So for that the circuit will be same, because in your practical paper which you will get, the circuit will be given to you. So if you know how to connect the circuit, so very easily you can connect, and also the process is also given in your paper. If you have seen, the procedure is given, circuit diagram is given. What you have to do, that means you have to write the observation table, calculation and result. That's all you have to write for your practical examination in written when you will do. So what will be the circuit that you will get? So here we have a 100 centimeter wire. You will have 0 to 100 centimeter which is fixed on a wooden board. You have seen the scale below of it, and then the circuit diagram will be same. So here we will have the resistance box, and on the other side of it we will have the unknown resistance. Now the resistance which is given to you to find out the unknown resistance, so that will be a wire which is coiled on a wooden stick. So maybe you will get a straight wire also fixed on a wooden board, and many times in our lab when we do, so we have a wire which is coiled on a wooden stick. So that wire resistance and resistivity you will find out. So a circuit that will be given will be like this. So this shows that it is a coiled resistor. Clear? Now between these two we will connect a galvanometer G, and this galvanometer will be connected with a jockey. Now from here we will have a battery connected, and then we have a key. So this is the circuit diagram. So this will be your S and this will be your R. Now this is the exact circuit I am giving you, which is as in 2016. This was the paper of 2016 in which this experiment was given to do. So if by this experiment you have to find the resistivity, in that different formula was given to find, but the process was same. So this is the circuit diagram will be given, and by this diagram you can connect the circuit. So how you will connect? So what are the apparatus you will get? That means a 100 centimeter wooden board will be there, then you have a EMF source, then we'll have a key, then you have a wire whose resistance you are going to find out, and the resistivity which is coiled. So this will be of 50 centimeter, and then we have a resistance box, galvanometer, jockey, and the connecting wires you will be provided. And then the same process as I told you by how you will find the unknown resistance, so that process you will apply here also. So what you have to do, so here when you will see the circuit, positive and negative is not given, only you have to check that the galvanometer will be connected with the positive and jockey will be connected with the negative of the galvanometer. So here you will take a connecting wire, connect it with the positive terminal of the battery, the negative will be connected with the one end of the key, other end will be connected with the 100 centimeter. Here the circuit is complete. Now take one wire, connect it with the one end of the resistance box. Take another wire, connect one end of the resistance box and connect it with the this wire, coiled wire. Clear? So there will be two terminal on that. So one terminal you connect with the resistance box. Now take another wire and connect it with the positive of the galvanometer, and the other end connect it either with this wire or this resistance box, because we have to do the connection between these two. So they both are connected with the positive terminal of the battery. Clear? So the galvanometer will be connected with the resistance box also and with the unknown wire also. So that is why you can connect this resistance box with the galvanometer positive, then also, and this also. So either case you have to connect. Clear? Then the negative of this will be connected with a jockey. So this is the complete another end of this terminal connected at this end. Clear? So here what you will get two connections. As you can see, this is how we'll see the circuit. At this point you will get one from the resistance box and one from the battery. At 100 centimeter you will get one end of the key and one end of this unknown resistance. Now on the galvanometer you will get two connections, one from this S and one from this R. So here on the positive terminal there will be two connections, and then on the negative you have one connection which is connected with a jockey. Now in the question it will be given on what resistance you will have to find out the value of S. So like we had started from 1, 2, 3, 4, it's not like every time it will given 1, 2, 3. It can be asked to find out the S value by starting with 3, 4, 5, 6 or 2, 3, 4, 5. So they will give you the value of this R. So accordingly you will remove the value of R from this resistance box, and then as the same process you have to apply. First you will touch this jockey on 0 and 100 and check that you are getting total deflection, and then start touching this jockey on this wire and find out the null deflection. The point where you get the null deflection, just like here you give A, see this is the point B, so this will become L and this distance will become 100 minus L. Clear? Now make a table. So in the examination what you have to do, it will not be asked to write the procedure or anything. The question in the paper it will be written to write the observation table, calculation and results. So that's why your observation table is also needs to be correct. So first thing that you will do is your serial number, and then you have the R value, resistance box. So when we make the table, always write the unit. That is what the examiner will check when he will check your copies, that you know how to make the observation table and you know the units also. And if you will not write these units, then the marks will be deducted. Then you have to write here the value L, or this we have P and this we have Q. So if in the paper it is given as P, then you write P here and make this as L, and this is in centimeter. Then this will be Q, which is 100 minus L. Clear? And these are both lengths, so they will be in centimeter. If it is written P and Q here, if it is not written, then you make only L and 100 minus L. Clear? Or they will give AB or BC, so you write here AB, BC and then L and 100 minus L, and here it will be your S, and S formula will be given to you. It's not like for the general formula, this is I am telling, they change the formula in the board examination to find out the value of S. So the formula that is given in the question paper, by that you will find. Here the formula that we will use is your R into 100 minus L upon L. Clear? So this is the whole observation table for your unknown resistance. Now it will be given in the paper how many readings you have to take. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then R value will be given to you. If it is given from 1, so you start writing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, this is the use of this writing unit here. If you have written unit here, then you can write all the values. That means they are in ohm. Then note down the value of L. Suppose you are getting here L as 36. On 36 you are getting null deflection, so this will become 36 and 4, so this will become 64. Is it so? And then this S will become your, if you are taking on 1, so this will become 1 into 100 minus L is your 64 upon 36. So this will become your value of S. Now same process you will apply for 2, 3, 4, 5. Each time you will get the value of S. Take the average of S. That means the average of S will become 5 values divided by 5. Clear? So that will give you the average value of S. So suppose you have got the S value as 2.5 ohm. Clear? Now you have to find the resistivity. So for the resistivity, the formula, we know that the formula is your R is equal to rho L by A, and here we are finding the resistivity. So in this case, the unknown resistance, we are getting S. So here you will get rho is equal, rho will become R A by L, and here we have S. So it will become, the resistivity formula for this case will become S A by L. Clear? So S you have got by this process. Area, we have the formula for area, pi r square. And length, what you will take? Most of the time the student get confused what value of L. So L will be this length of the wire, coiled wire. So it will be of 50 centimeter. That will be given in the question. So that value of L you will put here. So it will become 50. Now all value you have, S you have, pi you know 3.14 and 50 centimeter. Now you have to find the radius. For finding the radius you will get the screw gauge. So that's why you had done the experiment in class 11 to find out the value of resistance of a wire. So you will get a sample of wire. Using the screw gauge you have to find the radius of the wire and then put the value of radius here to find the resistivity. Is it clear? So this is the experiment. For then in this case you will make two tables, one for this unknown resistance and second you will make for finding the radius of the wire using screw gauge. So in that case you have the serial number, then you have the pitch. In the screw gauge we have the pitch reading, write it in centimeter, and then you have the circular scale reading, CSR, so that will also be in centimeter, and then you will have the total reading, which will be pitch plus CSR. That will give you the total reading. So in this case you can take only 3 readings. Clear? So on 3 reading you will check the pitch value, circular scale reading, then find out the total reading, find the average of these 3 values. That will give you the diameter, and half of that will give you the radius. So by getting the radius you can find the area, and in this formula you can put the value of R. So by that you can find out the resistivity. So this is the experiment that you will do to find out the resistivity or the unknown resistance of a wire. So I hope the experiment is clear to you, and it will get more clear when you will actually do the experiment. So that I don't know when we will get this chance to do the experiment. So for now, that's why I have explained this topic, so that at least you know how to do the experiment, how to make the tables, taking the reading, everything is clear to you. And when you will get the chance, so you can do that experiment correctly. Thank you.